Hi guys, it's Sam here, the founder of Clickstart Digital. In this video, I wanted to share with you the things that you need to know about drop shipping suppliers before you make that decision if you want to use a dropship supplier or a wholesale supplier. So first up, what's the difference between a dropship supplier and a wholesale supplier? So dropshipping suppliers work like this. A customer places an order on your website. You then pass that customer order through to the dropship supplier's website, and then the dropship supplier will send those products directly to your customer. Therefore, you're not having to hold stock, you're not having to pay for stock, and you're not having to ship orders or track orders and things like that. So basically, the supplier is doing all the heavy lifting. So what is a wholesale supplier? A wholesale supplier is where a customer places an order on your website. You then place that order on your supplier's website. The supplier sends you the products, and then you on-ship the products through to your customer. So with wholesale, there is a little bit of double handling, and sometimes there's usually minimum orders involved as well with wholesale suppliers. So that's the differences between drop shipping and just using a normal wholesale supplier. But there are some negatives involved with using dropship suppliers, such as you don't have control over inventory, you have no control over when the products go out, and you also usually get a slightly less margin with most of the dropship suppliers. So the main questions we get asked about dropship suppliers is how many dropship suppliers do we have? Now, we have a database full of suppliers, and this ranges from wholesale suppliers and dropship suppliers. Now, we don't have any arrangements with any particular suppliers. So a client will come to us and say that they want to sell dog toys and they want very specific coloured dog toys. Well, then we'll go out and try and find those products. Now, it's unlikely we'll be able to find drop shipping suppliers if someone's very particular about the type of product they want to sell. So if you are going to use a dropship supplier, you do need to be a bit more open-minded to what kind of products that you're going to sell. And you also need to keep in mind that we can only produce what's out there. If a dropship supplier doesn't exist for a particular type of product you're wanting to sell, well, there's not much we can do about it. We can only give you what's out there. So we can't pull a rabbit out of a hat. Another question that we get asked about dropship suppliers is, are there any fees involved with using dropship suppliers? Now, the answer to this is it varies and it depends on the supplier. I've seen a lot of suppliers recently start charging fees for drop shipping. So they'll charge you a monthly fee of $20, or they might charge you $500 a year to use their dropship resources. But the good side with some of these suppliers is they're offering better margins. So even though you might be paying a fee, it probably works out better in the long run anyway, because the margins that you're getting from those suppliers are better than other dropship suppliers. So the answer to that is yes. Occasionally there are fees involved with dropshipping, but not always. A lot of dropship suppliers don't charge any dropship fees at all. Another question we get asked all the time is, how long does it take for dropship suppliers to send out the products to your customers? Once again, this varies and it's different from supplier to supplier. Something that we can't control and you can't control if you decide to use dropship suppliers. So sometimes suppliers are pretty good. Most of them have a quick turnaround of a few days where they'll get the products out to your customers, but they all vary. Some of them might take a week, some of them might take 2 days, some of them might take 2 weeks. It depends on the products and it depends on the supplier. So that's something that you need to look into when you are looking at using a dropship supplier. And when you're looking around, just to find out and ask those questions about what a typical shipping time frame looks like from that supplier. Okay guys, that's my video today discussing dropship suppliers. I hope you found this video useful, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up to date with business news and trends.